you will become an expert. Excel 2016 PDF download, Excel 2019 PDF download. ഞാൻ ഓൾറെഡി ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്ത് പഠിച്ചൊരു സംഗതിയാണ്. ഓക്കെ, ഇപ്പൊ പലയിടത്തും എക്സലും നല്ലപോലെ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ അതിന്റെ ഫങ്ഷൻസിന്റെ ഉപയോഗവും മറ്റു കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഈസി ആയിട്ട്, ഇത് ഫ്രീ ആണ്. അതേപോലെ പവർ എന്തോ പറയണ മൈക്രോസോഫ്റ്റ് പവർ, അതും ഫ്രീ ആയിട്ട് അവൈലബിൾ ആണ്, ബുക്സ് ഒക്കെ.
സർ, നമുക്കിനി തുടങ്ങാം.
ആയിക്കോട്ടെ, ഓക്കെ. ഗുഡ് മോർണിംഗ് ടു ഓൾ.
Good morning, sir.
Okay. Today we will start a new topic, testing of statistical hypothesis. A very powerful tool. Very simple also. I shall explain using an example that will help you. I will not use any theorem. I will not use any mathematical derivation. I will simply develop the technique logically. Suppose you are buying packet milk in your house, and on the cover it is written that, can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Class. On the cover it is written that this packet contains 500 ml of milk. You are a researcher, an intelligent person. Okay? You have some doubt. Whether this packet contains 500 ml or less than that. You cannot simply close your eyes and guess. No, you have to do some homework. First day, you open the cover and take the milk out and you measure. You are finding 498 ml. Second day, it is 496. Third day, it is 501. Fourth day, 497, etc. You are measuring this for 30 days. 1 month you are measuring. These are the evidences for you. Sample data. Technically, it is called sample data. Okay? If you look at this data, can you do something? No. You have to process this data. It is very similar to that of the work of a doctor. Suppose you go to hospital and you explain, I am very tired and I feel very thirsty, that, this, etc. Then doctor has a feeling. Okay, let us test the sugar level in your blood. He will take a drop of blood. Looking at the drop of blood, can he arrive at a conclusion? No, he cannot arrive at a conclusion. He has to process this blood with some chemicals. I don't know the chemicals. Some chemicals. And that will give the glucose level in the blood. Okay? After the process, he will get the glucose level. Then he has some idea. Okay? If the glucose level is between 70 and 110, some people say it is 80 and 120, whatever may be, don't worry. You simply assume that it is between A and B. If it is A and B, you are in the safe zone. No sugar. If it is greater than this, then you are diabetic. Again, he can divide this into again two, 110 to 120 in the boundary. Above 120, diabetic. Some people say like that also. Okay, because I am very familiar with these things because I have a little bit of diabetic problem. Okay, less than 70 means low sugar. Low sugar. Therefore, if the sugar level is between 70 and 110, he will say that you are a healthy person. Don't worry about diabetic. If it is greater than 110, then he will advise so many things. Do exercise, take that food, don't take this food, that, etc. If it is low sugar, he will advise you take one coffee with sugar every day, like that, etc. Similarly, using this data, he has to find the value of a function. Value of a function. Okay, using the observations x1, x2, etc., xn. Okay, if he keeps these observations like this, he cannot take a decision. Okay, this function, okay, that function will help. Using this x1, x2, etc., xn, he has to evaluate the value of a function. If the value of that function is between some values a and b, then you will arrive at a conclusion that the difference is not significant. The difference is not significant. It is because of some errors in the measuring machine or something like that. Okay, they are not purposefully cheating the customers. If it is less than some value, then definitely there some problems are there and you have to make a complaint. You have to make a complaint. Here, what you have to test, what is your doubt? Your doubt is that the packet contains less than 500 ml. Less than 500. You are interested in establishing this one. You are interested in establishing that. What is your doubt? Your doubt is that the company is cheating the customers. Nowadays, you can read such news in newspapers. If you take a petrol from petrol bunk, if you buy 1 liter of petrol, that will contain only 940 ml, 960 ml, like that. They are cheating people like that. Or you have some doubt like that. Okay, you want to establish this one. If this is not acceptable, then you will accept that the contents of the package is 500 ml. This is simply the testing problem. This is only this much. Only this much. Now you can imagine hundreds of examples. Chemistry students, you have two chemicals A and B. And if you process with these chemicals, you will get a result. Another pair of chemicals C and D, you will get for the same thing. Then you want to establish that C and D perform better than A and B. Clinical trials, antibiotic 1, antibiotic 2, antibiotic 3, antibiotic 4, etc. for tuberculosis. Okay, and you want to establish whether some medicine is better than the other medicines for the treatment of tuberculosis. What is to be done? You take 50 or 40 or 30 TB patients and give first medicine. Another 30 persons, you give second medicines. Another 40 persons, you give third medicine. Another 25 persons, you give fourth medicines. And you observe them continuously for 3 or 4 months. It's a long process. And after, at the end, you just know how many days it took, what are the side effects, etc. Okay, all those things are very familiar things nowadays for all the persons in this corona pandemic time, because we are hearing all these news. Okay, teaching method. Okay, suppose an education expert. Okay, and that expert is developing a new method to teach English grammar. Existing method is there. He is developing a new method, and he has to establish that the new method is better than the existing method. What is to be done? He can take 25, 30 students and teach them English grammar using the traditional method. He can take another 25, 30 students and he can teach English grammar using his method. And at the end of the classes, he can conduct a common test. And look at the marks scored by the first set of students. Look at the marks scored by second set of students. From that, he can do some process. I will explain what will be that process. Okay, then at the end, you can see whether the new method is better than the old method or new method is very similar to the old method. A weight losing technique. You are developing a weight losing technique. That is, you claim that at the end of a 3 months process, on an average, you can reduce 10 kilograms of weight. Okay, so on an average, this is your claim. What is to be done? You take people of a more or less same nature, same category, same height, same weight, same age, like that. They are called experimental units. Experimental units. And you measure their weight. You measure their weight before the exercise. Before the exercise or diet, whatever may be. You ask them to follow this exercise or this diet. And at the end of 3 months, you again measure their weight. And you are having now 2 sets of observations. Weight before the exercise pattern or diet pattern, and weight after that. In all these cases, we have to depend on statistical procedures. In chemistry, in physics, somebody has established some result in American university, some value, and you want to verify that. In your laboratory, you are doing that experiment. You are getting, suppose he is getting 10.3 and you are getting 10.16. There is a difference, and you want to check whether this difference is due to some error or this difference is significant. So many things you can imagine now. Okay, therefore this is the basic idea. This is the basic idea for statistical hypothesis. Okay, let us see some slides. Okay. What is a hypothesis? A hypothesis is a statement about the parameters of the population, which can be verified for its acceptability or rejectability using sample evidences. For example, you consider normal population. there are two parameters, mu and sigma square. Okay, suppose sigma square is known. Sigma square is known. And you want to test. You want to test whether the value of the population mean is 10. And what are the alternatives? It can be greater than 10, or it can be less than 10, or it can be not equal to 10. What do you mean not equal to 10? Either it can be less than 10 or it can be greater than 10. This is the one you have to check whether the population mean is 10 or not. What is to be done? There are no shortcuts. You have to take observations from that sample. Observation from that population. N values. N values from that population. Then using this x1, x2, etc., xn, you have to find a function. You have to find a function. For testing the mean, when sigma square is known, the function is x bar minus mu naught by sigma by root. X bar minus mu naught by sigma by root. This is the function we will use. To test a glucose level, you have to add some chemicals with the blood. To test a cholesterol level, you have to add different chemicals. To test TC, DC, etc., you have to add different chemicals. To know the group of the blood, you have to add another chemical, whatever may be. Therefore, for testing the mean of the normal population, you have to use this function. What is x bar? X bar is sample mean. What is mu naught? The hypothetical value. What is sigma? It is known. Population standard deviation. What is n? Number of observations. Number of observations. This is called test statistic. Test statistic. What is the statistic in singular? It's a function of observations. Function of statistic in singular is function of observations. Plural, it is a branch of science. Test statistic means a function used for testing purpose. Function used for testing purpose. Now, as the doctor does, you look at the value of this expression. If this value of this, if the value is less than some particular value or in between two values, you will accept H naught. Otherwise, the sample evidence is not supporting H naught. This is simple. It is as simple as this. Okay, you don't worry about anything about other thing. The packages are available nowadays. You just to know which test you have to use. That is the only thing you have to know. Okay, now let us look at some definitions. One definition is type 1 error. Type 1 error. And other one is type 2 error. Population is vast. It is an ocean. From this, you are taking some representative sample. Based on this sample, you are speaking about the population. Population consists of crores of observations, suppose millions of observations. From that, you are taking a sample of size 50. Using these 50 samples, you are speaking about the population. You are speaking about the population. Naturally, some errors can happen because you are taking a decision based on the sample values. Okay, that means actually the hypothesis may be true, but sample evidences are against the hypothesis. Actually, the hypothesis, null hypothesis was true. What is null hypothesis? Null hypothesis is a hypothesis which we want to verify for its acceptance or rejection. Okay, actually it was true, and we are rejecting it. We are rejecting it. Rejection of the null hypothesis when it is true. A true hypothesis should be accepted. A true hypothesis should be accepted, but sample evidences are against the acceptance of that hypothesis, and you are helpless and you have to reject it. This is called type 1 error. What is another one? Another one is actually the hypothesis was false. Actually, the hypothesis was false, but we are accepting it. We are accepting it. That is accepting the null hypothesis when it is false. That is called a type 2 error. Okay, we can put that in a tabular form like this, as in the case of testing. Okay, actually, H not true. Null hypothesis is denoted by H not. If it is true, we will accept it. If it is false, we have to accept something else. That is called the alternative hypothesis. Okay, alternative hypothesis. This is null hypothesis. Okay, and it's not false. What is the action? Action is accept H naught. Accept H naught, reject H naught. H naught is true and you are accepting it. Therefore, it is correct decision. Correct decision. H naught is true and you are rejecting it. Type 1 error. Type 1 error. H naught is false, you are accepting it. Type 2 error. H naught is false and you are rejecting it. Correct decision. False things have to be rejected. True things are to be accepted. Therefore, these two things are correct decisions. And if something else happens, when you reject a true null hypothesis, we are committing type 1 error. When you accept a false hypothesis, we are committing type 2 error. Errors are errors. Errors are errors. Okay? We have to avoid the possibility of committing errors. In our life also it is good. Okay? But in a fixed sample size, we cannot control both the type of errors simultaneously. Okay? When you control type 1 error to lower level, type 2 error will become maximum. Otherwise, when you control type 2 error, type 1 error will be in its maximum. Example, suppose you close your eyes and decide, I will accept everything. I don't mind the messages I am getting from the samples. You are accepting everything means what? You are accepting good things. That is good. But when you accept everything, you are accepting wrong things also. You are accepting wrong things also. Wrong things means what? You are accepting false hypothesis also. When you accept everything, the error due to rejection will not happen. Because type 1 error is happening when you are rejecting something. When you are rejecting something. When you are accepting everything means what? You are not rejecting anything. Therefore, type 1 error will not be there, but type 2 error will be in its maximum. Again, you close your eyes and I say, I will reject everything. I will reject everything. Whether my father says or mother says or my teacher says, I am going to reject everything. You are rejecting bad things. When you reject everything, you are rejecting bad things. That's a good quality. But when you reject everything, you are rejecting true null hypothesis also. In that case, what happens? Type 1 error will be in its maximum. Type 1 error will be in its maximum. That means in a fixed sample size problem, we cannot control both the type of errors simultaneously. There are other procedures of the sequential probability ratio test. In that, we have control on both the type of errors. But in the fixed sample size problem, we cannot control both the type of errors simultaneously. What is to be done then? We have to use our intelligence, wisdom. We fix probability of one type of error to a small value. To a small value like 0.05 or 0.02, 0.01, etc. And probability of the other type of error we will minimize. We will minimize. You fix this value. You fix this value to a lower level. Errors are errors. Errors are errors. Whether it is type 1 error or type 2 error, both are errors. And errors are bad also. But here we have seen that practically it is impossible to control both of them simultaneously. Therefore, we will fix the chance of committing one type of error to a small level. And we will minimize the chance of committing other type of error. Which probability we have to fix? That is a question. Actually, so many things I have to tell at this place because this is my favorite topic. Okay, but we don't have time. Science are already told that we have covered so much time. Okay, we have consumed so much time. Okay, therefore I will tell. Suppose you look at this one, even though it is not a statistical hypothesis, you look at this philosophical example, H0. Mr. Raju is innocent. Let him free. Unless otherwise proved by the law of court, all people are supposed to be innocent. What is the alternative? Mr. Raju is a criminal. Hang him. You look at the consequence of the type 1 error and type 2 error. What is type 1 error? Rejection of H0 when H0 is true. H0 true means what? Raju is innocent and you are rejecting. When you reject that hypothesis, which one you are going to accept? You are accepting the second one. He is a criminal. Okay, and on one fine morning, you are hanging me. I am no more. I am no more. And after some 30 days, you are getting evidences that I was innocent. Can you give me my life back? No. Look at type 2 error. Type 2 error. Okay, that is accepting H0 when it is false. Actually, I was a criminal. And you accept that I am innocent. And you are making me free. I am coming out. I am coming out. There are two possibilities, correct? One possibility is that I will thank to all and I may start a good life. I will not commit any criminal activities in my life from that point onwards. Okay, so many criminals are there in this world. One again, a transformed criminal is also there. He is not making any problem. Let him live, no problem. And if that criminal mentality is still there in my mind, I will do another criminal things and the police will arrest me. And again, I will be put forward in the front of a court and the court will recognize me and I will be punished. I will be punished. Okay, I'm not asking questions which one is serious or which one is not serious, etc. Definitely type 1 error is serious. Okay, actually, this is a philosophy of any law of philosophy. What is that? Thousands of criminals can be given. Let them 1,000 criminals can let free, but not even a single innocent person should be punished. Therefore, using that philosophy, we fix probability of type 1 error to a small value, and we will minimize probability of type 2 error. We will derive a test. We will derive a test which can give a minimum probability for this. Minimum probability for this for a fixed probability of type 1 error. Okay? And what is other one? Probability 1 minus probability of type 2 error. 1 minus probability of type 2 error. That is 1 minus probability of acceptance of H naught when H naught is false. That is type 2 error. Type 2 error is what? Acceptance of H naught when H naught is false. 1 minus of that means what? Complement of this. What is the complement of this? Probability of rejection of H naught. Acceptance of H naught, the complement of that is rejection of H naught when H naught is false. When H naught is false. This is the probability of the correct decision. When H naught is false, we have to reject it. We have to. This is a probability of correct decision. This is called the power of the test. Power of the test. Power of the test. Therefore, when probability of type 2 error is minimized, means power of the test is maximized. Because 1 minus, when this is minimum, 1 minus of that will be maximum. Okay, therefore this is the Neyman-Pearson philosophy of two British scientists. Okay, they have developed this theory, the basic theory, Neyman-Pearson fundamental lemma, so many things are there. Okay, this is a philosophy. Okay, we have a research problem. We have certain objectives. Okay, all those things you are studying in research methodology paper. And we have so many hypotheses. The average height of girl students and boy students in the campus is equal. There's a hypothesis. What is to be done? You have to take a sample of boys and sample of girls and take their heights, and you do that. Okay, and chemical one or the medicine, I don't know what is the term I have to use, pesticide, something like that. Pesticide 1 derived from plant 1 is better than pesticide derived from plant 2 to kill the small insects in rice. Okay, I remember I have done this work for some students in zoology department years back. Okay, who was working with Professor Gokul Das sir. Okay, like that, so many things are there. Okay, and in education department, method 1, method 2. Okay, which one is better? Okay, in physics department, okay, you are using so many. In computer science department, you are using so many experiments. Okay, in everywhere where you have data, you have some hypothesis, and you want to check whether that hypothesis is correct or not. What is to be done? You have to take a sample evidences. Sample evidences means what? Observations. Based on that observations, you have to arrive at a conclusion whether the hypothesis can be accepted or not. Okay, this is the population. If you look at income distribution like this. Okay, average income of an Indian citizen is rupees 10,000. Suppose you are selecting randomly, you are selecting the observations randomly. Suppose all the observations are from this region, the average income will be very higher. Average income will be very higher. If all the observations are somewhere from here, it can happen because you are taking random observations. The average income will be very small. Suppose some is from here, some is from here, some is from here, some is from here, then only that will become that will become a true representative of the population. Therefore, you want to know whether the difference is due to difference in the sampling fluctuations, sampling techniques, or the difference is real difference, or the difference is one that is to be considered with care. This is the philosophy of testing of statistical hypothesis. I have not used any theorems, not used any derivations, etc. Okay, that is not needed for you. Is the background material clear? Is the background material clear? If this, I am asking students.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all. Okay, now you can relate your problems with our discussion. Okay. Chemistry, you are using so many chemicals and you want to see whether using one chemical is better than the other chemical. In zoology, you are giving different type of food to different animals, rabbits or rats or something like that. And you want to see the effect of these foods in the weight of rabbits or that of rabbit, etc., etc., etc. In education, you are having different techniques. You are having different techniques for teaching, different type of students, urban students, rural students, etc., 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 etc. And you want to know whether their teaching capacity, learning capacity is same or not. Okay? Same or not. Like that. Okay? In psychology, you want to see the attitudes of different groups of people. What is to be done? You have to conduct a test and you take the score and you can use some testing procedure. Underline the word some testing procedure, and that some will be explained today itself. Okay? If you give you your area, I can give you at least 12 examples where you can apply this one. Again, you want to see whether there is an association between education level and earning income level. Okay, suppose you may think that there is a relation between education level. Those who have studied more are earning more. You have to conduct a study. There you have to take a values on two variables. What is their education level? MSc and above, BSc, +2, engineering and other thing, etc. Okay? And their monthly income, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, etc. Today we will, most probably today we will study that also. Chi-square test of independence of attributes. Okay? So many things you want to test in your research. Okay? We will do one by one. Okay? I know that I have skipped so many things, but that is enough for your understanding. Okay? And during the discussion, I will explain those things. Okay? A doctor wants to know whether smoking and consumption of alcohol decreases the life expectancy. Okay? What is to be done? He has to take two group of people or three group of people. One group not using any alcohol or smoking. Other group smoking only. Other group smoking and alcohol, like that. Okay? Then he has to study. He has to conduct a study for a long time. Sometimes you can see in papers it comes, they were doing this experiment for 20 years, 25 years like that, observing a group of, that is called a cohort study, a group of people from one stage to a last stage. It will take some time. Okay, one company claims that the electric bulb we are producing will last for 5,000 hours. You have some doubt. What is to be done? You have to take 25, 30 bulbs and put in your laboratory and you look at when it fails. Then you will get 25 observations. based on the 25 observations. What is the 25 observations? The lifetimes of the 25 bulbs. 25 bulbs. You want to check whether students of Kerala are better than students of Tamil Nadu. You have to take some students from Kerala and take their observations. Some students of Tamil Nadu take the corresponding observations, and you have to process those observations. That's all. Okay. First one. Okay. The story is enough. First one, we will do testing of single mean. Testing of single mean. Okay. We have a population, and we assume that the population is a normal population. N mu sigma square. And we will make a very crucial assumption that sigma square is known. And we want to check whether the average value is a specified value or H1, mu less than mu naught, sometimes mu greater than mu naught, sometimes mu naught equal to mu naught. I shall give you examples. The milk problem. What is H naught? Mu is 500 ml. And you have some doubt about that. Then what is your alternative hypothesis? Mu is less than 500. Mu is less than 500. Okay? Then suppose the company has some doubts. The company has some doubts. They're measuring, because all these things are done by machines only now. The machine will fill the packet and other machine will close the packet, etc. Company has around whether the machine has some problem. Okay, they will measure the contents of the packets. Contents of the packet. They are getting 503 ml in one packet, 508 ml in another packet, etc. Then what is their doubt? What is their doubt? The average milk, average contents is greater than 500. Greater than 500. This is also a very bad one. If this one is accepted, that is very bad. That will create a bad image for the company. The customers will go to consumer right protection court, etc. That is, they are charging money for 500 ml and they are giving only less than 500 ml. Therefore, for each consumer, suppose they have to give 1,000 rupees. That is a big loss for the consumer company. Therefore, the company will never agree with this one. The company will not be happy with this one. Look at this one. Suppose in each packet, on an average, the machine fills 505 ml. Therefore, in each packet, there is an excess of 5 ml. Therefore, in 100 packets, when it fills 100 packets, then automatically it will fill the milk for 101 packets. In each packet, it is filling 5 ml more. Therefore, in 100 packets, it will fill 500 ml more. That is a loss per company. Therefore, both are bad thing for company. Here, the company has to pay penalty. Here, the company is losing more milk. Okay, that means what? The company wants to see that it should not be less than 500 or it should not be greater than 500. Therefore, H naught mu is equal to 500 against H1 mu not equal to 500. You can think about a number of examples. Antibiotics. Each antibiotic should contain 250 milligram of the antibiotics. If it is less than 250, then what is that, bacteria or something like that? That will be winning over this antibiotic, and next time you have to consume a higher level of antibiotics. If it is more than 250 mg, what will happen? That will be affecting in two ways. That is a loss to the company, as well as that will affect the health of the patient. Instead of 250 mg, you are consuming 270 mg. You are consuming more antibiotics. That may affect your inner organs. Therefore, you have to check whether it is not less than 250 mg or it is not higher than this one. Again, suppose it is 500 ml. This is your assumption. It's a note. Suppose on average you are getting 499 ml. On an average you are getting 499 ml. Will you go to the court? Never. You will not go to the court. Because it's a matter of 1 ml, it can happen sometimes, etc. You will forget about that. On an average, suppose it is 470 ml. Definitely you will go to the court. Therefore, you are ready to accept the average is 500 ml if the observed value is very close to 500 ml. Yes or no? If it is 496 ml, you will not go to the court. Okay? Therefore, if the observed value of the function is between this interval, you will accept that H naught is true. We will not use the word accept and reject. We will say that the sample evidence is supporting the null hypothesis. That's a term that is a phrase we will be using. The sample evidences are supporting the null hypothesis, or there is insufficient evidence to reject the hypothesis, like that we will use. We will never say that we will reject a hypothesis, we will accept like this. For example, if you take some other sample like that, the decision may be entirely different because you are taking only one sample. You are taking one sample based on the evidences you are getting from that sample, you are taking a decision. Okay? And if it is below this value or above this value, you will reject. You will reject. That is all the collection of samples, which force to reject the null hypothesis, they are called a critical region. Critical region. Why it is critical? Rejecting something is very, very painful, no? Rejecting something is more painful than accepting something. Okay, suppose you want to say to your friend, when your friend requests you to come to library with me, no, I cannot come. Then after that, that statement will make you more painful than, no? Okay, therefore rejecting something be very painful. That is why it is called critical. Okay, these two values are called critical values. Critical values. In the diabetic experiment, it is 70, 110. 70, 110. If it is between 70 and 110, okay, you are a healthy person. You are a healthy person. If it is less than 70, or if it is more than 110, the doctor will say, you have some sugar problem. It is diabetic case, this is low sugar case. Okay, therefore the 70 and 110 are critical points. Temperature again, body temperature, usually it will be 98.4 degree Fahrenheit, correct? And if it is greater than that, then doctor will say, you have fever. If it is more than 100, then he will say more than 102, 103, etc. Very, very critical. Okay, like that. Okay. And look at this example. Situation 1. What is situation 1? Remember that the population is normal. Situation 1, sigma square is no. Sigma square is no. In this case, we will use this function. x bar minus mu naught by sigma by root. Sigma by root. Okay? Then you have to fix the probability of type 1 error. I told you, we have to fix the probability of type 1 error. That is equal to, suppose it is 0.05. This is called significance level or level of significance. Both are same. Significance level. Now, our assumption is that the population is normal. Population is normal. Then this also normal distribution. With the mean mu naught and variance sigma square by n. Okay? Look at normal curve. Okay? Our H naught, mu equal to mu naught. Our H1, mu not equal to mu naught. Now this is mu naught. A normal distribution is symmetric about the mean. Now, as I told before, if it is in the neighborhood of mu naught, you will accept that H naught is true. If it is far away from mu naught, you cannot accept. What is level of significance? 0.05. Therefore, this area is 0.95. 0.95. This area will be 0.025. This area will be 0.025. 0.025. Okay, because total probability is total area. Total area is 1. Okay, then we go to R. Last day we have seen. Q norm. Q norm is quantile norm 0.025. Okay, 0.1. 0.1. Okay, it should be minus 1.96. Minus 1.96. Therefore, this value is minus 1.96. Minus 1.96. This value is plus 1.96. If the value of this function is between minus 1.96 and plus 1.96, we will say that there is insufficient evidence to reject H naught. There is insufficient evidence to reject H naught. In other words, we will accept H naught. We will accept H naught. If it is far away from minus 1.96 and plus 1.96, if it is very greater than 1.96, you cannot accept. You cannot accept that mu is equal to 500 ml. If it is very less than minus 1.96, you cannot accept mu is equal to 500 ml. It is less than 500 ml. If it is very, very higher than 1.96, you cannot accept mu is equal to 500. Okay, mu is very higher than 500. Very higher than 500. Okay, let us look at some examples. Yeah, a city health department, this one is small sample test. Yeah. Tested the alpha is equal to 0.05 significance level, whether the mean of a random sample of size n is equal to 16 is statistically significantly less than 10 if the distribution from which the sample was taken is normal, that is important, mean is equal to 8.4 and the variance is 10.24. Okay, that is the hypothetical value is mu is equal to 10 and the sample observation is, okay, this also, please wait, this also not satisfying this one. Okay, because it is only n is equal to 16 only. Okay, I will take another example satisfying these conditions. Okay, suppose you take 50 students from Calicut University. 50 students from Calicut University, PG students. Okay, and you are finding that their average IQ is 105. 105. Okay, then suppose variance of the population is known as 20. Variance is known as 20, or standard deviation is 20. Standard deviation is 20. Okay, n is equal to 50 and the sample mean is 105 and the population variance is known. Population variance is 20 square. Okay, and can you say that the average IQ of Calicut University students is greater than 100? This is the sample evidences. Sample evidences. Okay, then what is our null hypothesis? H naught. Average IQ is 100. What is the sample information? H1. It is greater than 100. Greater than 100. Sigma is not. Then you have to create this function. X is equal to x bar minus mu naught by sigma by root 10. Okay, x bar is 105 sample mean. Mu naught is hypothetical value. Sigma is 20. N is 50. Therefore, you are getting 5 into root 50 by 20. That is root of 50 by 4. 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 Okay. That is 1.7677. You can take it as 1.77. That is enough because statistics we are doing so many adjustments. Therefore, this value is 1.77. 1.77. You just use your logic. What is the hypothetical value? 100. When you will reject 100 and accept a value higher than 100, when you will reject 100 and accept a value higher than 100, if it should be far away, very higher. If it is 100.3, you will not reject. If it is 100.331, you will not reject. Okay, therefore you will reject 100 and accept a value greater than 100 if the sample evidence give you very high value higher than 100. Therefore, this is the critical region. This is the critical region. That is, if it is higher values, these are the higher values higher to 100. Okay, and what about your alpha? If nothing is mentioned, you take alpha is equal to 0.05. Alpha is equal to 0.05. This is called a one-tailed test. One direction test or one-tailed test. That is, a critical region is in the one tail of the distribution. Okay, therefore this probability is 0.95. Then you take table value or Q value, that is Q norm 0.9501. 01. It is better you remember these values, 2-3 values remember. It is 1.6448, that is 1.645 we are using. 1.645 we are using. Okay, therefore this value is 1.645. This is our diabetic value 110. Okay, therefore this will be standardized, means this will be 0. 1.645. That means what? 1.77 is coming here. That is, he is diabetic. He is diabetic. Okay, now 1.77 is greater than 1.645. Therefore, the sample evidence is falling in the critical region. Therefore, this, based on this sample, we cannot accept H0. That is, Calicut University students have average IQ greater than 100. This is a philosophy behind it. This is a philosophy behind it. You have a hypothesis regarding the parameter. And you, based on that parameter, you develop a function. This is a function to be used to test the mean value. And you find the value of that function. Then you look at the critical value from the table. That is 1.645. As in the case of diabetic experiment, if it is between 70 and 110, healthy. Then that means what? If it is less than 1.645, we will accept. But it is, the value is greater than 1.645. Therefore, there is insufficient evidence to accept H0. That's a word we will use. We will never use accept. We will accept H0. We will reject H0. That is not correct. That is, based on this sample, we cannot accept H0. Sometimes if the sample is something different, we may accept it. That's all. Wait, that's all. Is it clear or not? Is it clear or not?
Is clear, sir.
Okay, very good. Now, I will go to next case. What is next case? Sigma square is unknown. Sigma square is unknown. Then what is to be done? We will use estimate of the sigma square. Estimate of the sigma square. Okay, then T is equal to x bar minus mu naught by s by root of n. This follows T distribution with the n minus 1 degrees of freedom. N minus 1 degrees of freedom. Okay, n minus 1 degrees of freedom. Finished. Finished. In this case, you have to take the critical values from T distribution, not to normal distribution. This follows students' T distribution. That's what I told you. To test the glucose level, you have to use one function. To test a cholesterol level, you have to use another chemical. Okay, like that. This follows students' T distribution. Okay. Yeah. Test H alpha is equal to 0.05 significance level, whether mean of a random sample of size n is equal to 16 is statistically significantly less than 10 if the distribution for which sample was taken is normal. That is important. So many things are there. I am skipping so many things. Population should be normal and sample size small. So many things are there. And the sample variance is 10.84. Okay, X bar is 8.4 and the sample variance S square is 10.24. What are the null and alternative hypotheses? Here, what is null hypothesis? Mu is equal to 10. This is the hypothetical value. The sample value is 8.4. Okay, and there's a difference between hypothetical value and sample value. Therefore, what we have to do, we have to arrive at a conclusion whether this difference is due to sampling error. What do you mean sampling error? You are selecting samples, no? Human beings are selecting samples, no? Sometimes you may take observations from your class only. That is not a random sample. You have to take the observations from the whole university, from all the department, science department, arts department, commerce department, physical education department, from girls, from boys, etc. you have to take. Suppose you are taking observations from your roommates only, that cannot be termed as a random sample. Random sample. Okay, and you want to know whether it is due to sampling fluctuations or sampling error, or it is the original error. Okay, what is to be done? 10, 8.4, 10.24, 16. That's all. Therefore, here this is equal to what is H naught? H naught mu is equal to 10. Against what is H1? Mu less than 10. Mu less than 10. Mu less than 10. Okay? Then what is X bar? X bar is sample mean 8.4. Mu naught is 10. S is what? S is what? 10.24. 10.24. Therefore, root of 10.24. That is sample variance. Number of observations 16. Therefore, root of 16, 4. Therefore, it is 4 into minus 4 into 1.6 divided by root of 10.24. Okay, minus 6.4 by root of 10.24. Minus 6.4 minus 6.4 divided by square root of 10.24. 10.24 or 10.64? 10.24. 10.24. Minus 2. You are getting minus 2. Minus 2. Now, this is the value of the function. After mixing the blood with that clinical chemical, minus 2. Then what is to be done? It is better. You draw a graph, T distribution, and you are getting the value minus 2. Minus 2. Okay. Now, suppose you take alpha is 5% A level. Now, you take the critical value from the distribution, that is QT. QT 0.05. What's the degree of freedom here? 16 observations are there. Therefore, degree of freedom is 1 less than that. 1 less than that. We have discussed that many times. Therefore, this one you take minus 1.75. Minus 1.75. That is, if the value of the function is less than minus 1.75, you reject H0. Here it is minus 2 is less than minus 1.75. Therefore, we cannot say that the average value is 10. The average value is really less than 10 based on the available evidences from the sample. Therefore, that means, in short, what is the result? We reject H0. We reject H0, but we never say openly that we reject H0. That is not the correct way of writing the report. That is, sample evidences are not favorable to accept H0 like that. Okay, we will put some Chandriya soap on that. Okay, and we will use a very ornamental terms. Because why? You have taken only one sample. You have taken only one sample. Okay, the population is very large. Calicut University population, 1,200 students may be there. And you are taking only 16 students. And you are taking a test based on 16 students. And you are speaking about the entire population. Therefore, based on this sample, that is the sample evidences we are getting from this sample is not supporting to accept H0. Is not supporting to accept H0. Okay. Now, how to use R for this one? You take this example. The annual rainfall in centimeters. The annual rainfall in centimeters at a certain weather station. At a certain weather station over the last 10 years. Over the last 10 years has been as follows: 17.2, 28.1, 25.3, 26.2, 30.7, 19.2, 23.4, 27.5, 29.5, 31.6. 31.6. 31.6. What is the question? What is the question? The question is that scientists at the weather station wish to test whether the average rainfall has increased from its former long-term value of 22 centimeters. 22 centimeters. Okay, in the last century, they have this value, H0, mu is equal to 22. And they have taken the values for the last 10 years. And they got these observations and they want to check. Okay, now you might have seen these type of statements in the newspapers. Okay, the temperature of sun is increasing, that, this, etc., etc. It is very simple to do this problem in R. Okay, first one what? First one, you have to enter the data. Okay, rainfall, RF. RF is equal to C bracket 17.2, 28.1 and 25.3, 26.2, 30.7, 30.7, and 19.2, 19.2, 23.4, 23.4. Okay, please check whether I am putting full stop in the place of comma and comma in the place of full stop. Okay, 27.5, 27.5, 29.5, 29.5, 31.6, 31.6. We have entered the value. T dot test will do all the work for you. T dot test will do the work for you. RF. Okay, what is the hypothetical value? Mu is equal to 22. Okay, correct? 22. If I remember, it is correct.
Yes, 22, sir.
22. Mu is equal to 22. By default, it will take alpha as 0.05. Finished. That's all. This T dot test will do all the work for you. Yeah. One sample T test. Data is RF. T value is 2.5758. Degree of freedom is 9. Degree of freedom is what? Number of observations -1. There are 10 observations. Okay. And the alternative hypothesis, true mean is not equal to 22. Okay. Now I will explain all those things. Okay. How to get this T value? What is T value? You can take MRF. MRF or M is enough. M is equal to mean of RF. Mean of RF. Mean of RF. Okay. And sample variance. Sample standard deviation. S is equal to SQRT VAR RF. Okay. Then what is it? T? T is equal to X bar minus mu naught divided by S by 3. Root of 9 is 3. S by root of n. Therefore, S by root of 10. S by root of 10. When this T should be 2.5758. This T should be 2.5758. Please check whether the number of brackets are 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. No problem. Yeah, 2.575799. You're getting. You can do directly also like this. Okay. And here, I forgot one thing. By default, it will take two-sided alternative, mu not equal to 22. Now, what is our problem? Mu is greater than 22. That you have to specify. Comma, alternative is equal to greater. Alternative is equal to greater. Alternative is equal to greater. Yeah. Here you can see true mean value is greater than 22. Before it was true mean value is not equal to 22. If you are not specifying anything, it will take a two-sided hypothesis. It will take a two-sided hypothesis. Okay, this is one-sided hypothesis, mu less than 500. This is also one-sided hypothesis, right tail test. This is called left tail test. Mu not equal to 500 means two-sided test. That means what critical region is in the two tails of the distribution. Here it will be only the right tail of the distribution. Here it will be in the left tail of the distribution. Okay. Therefore, where is our 2.5758. Degree of freedom is 9. What is this p-value? 0.0149. That is the area from this value to infinity. The area from this value to infinity. Okay. That is 1 minus 1 minus P bracket 2.5758, 2.5758, comma 9 degrees of freedom. You should get 0.01495. You should get 0.01495. What is the error there? What is the error? Oh my God, P value could not find the function. Oh my God, can you tell me the error? Can you tell me the error I have done? I have committed a mistake there. What is that mistake? Tell me what is that mistake. I have tried to PT. It is T distribution. It is T distribution. Therefore, I have tried to PT. I simply typed P only. Yeah, 0.01495. That is what you are getting here. Okay. Now you remember this value. 2.5758. 2.5758. You remember this value? I shall explain that using graph. 2.5758. This area is 0.01 something. 0.01495. 0.01495. Suppose your critical value is 0.05. Significance level is 0.05. From where you have to start to get the area 0.05? From where you have to start to get a total area of 0.05? From lower value of 2.57 or from higher value of 2.57? With no mathematics there, only logic. Suppose, tell me, suppose you are starting from Calicut University campus and to Calicut. Ramanatagara is here. Ramanatagara is here at a distance of 7 kilometers. Suppose you have traveled 10 kilometers in this road. Where will be your position before Ramanatagara or after Ramanatagara? Hello?
After
Ramanatagara. Suppose you have traveled only 3 kilometers in that road. You will be
before
Ramanatagara. Therefore, this area is 0.014. Suppose you have to get a area of 0.05. This 0.05 is definitely greater than 0.01. Therefore, you have to start from a value which is less than 2.57. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Sir, 0.01495 എന്നുള്ളത് ആ ഏരിയ അല്ലേ ആ പോയിന്റ് ആണോ?
അല്ല ഈ ഏരിയ 2.5758 മുതൽ ഏരിയയാണ് 0.01495. Therefore, to get the area of 0.05, area is probability. Probability is area. From where you have to shade? From which point you have to shade?
Sir, before 2.5.
Before 2.5, sir.
Very good. You have to shade from here. Then only you will get an area of 0.05. That means what? Critical value is here. Critical value is here. Nowadays, nobody is giving table value and etc. They are giving only P value. They are giving only P value. P value means probability of the probability under the area under the curve from that test from the value of the test statistic. That is all. Therefore, critical value is somewhere here. Critical value is somewhere here. Okay. Therefore, that you can easily see. You can easily see what is QT. QT 0.959. It will be definitely less than 2.57. 1.83. 1.83. Tell me what is the conclusion? Tell me what is the conclusion? This is a critical value.
2.5758 എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ആ റെയിൻഫാളിന്റെ ആവറേജിൽ പറ്റില്ല. 22 എബോവ് പറ്റില്ല.
22 എബോവ് പറ്റില്ല എന്നല്ല. 1.83 ഏക്കാട്ടിലും വലുതാണ് ഈ 2.57. അതുകൊണ്ട് നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്നു? എച്ച് നോട്ട് റിജക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നു. 1.83 താഴെ വന്നാൽ ആക്സെപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നു. 1.83 മേലെ വന്നാൽ റിജക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഈ ടിയുടെ വാല്യൂ ടെസ്റ്റ് സ്റ്റാറ്റിസ്റ്റിക്സിന്റെ ടിയുടെ വാല്യൂ 2.5758. The value of the test statistics 2.5758 is greater than the critical value. Therefore, the sample evidence is not supporting H naught. Therefore, H naught is rejected. That is, mu is equal to 22 is rejected and mu greater than 22 is accepted. That is, average rainfall is now increased from the average rainfall in the last century. In the last century. What is average rainfall before? No, before it was 22. Now, what is the average for these things? Average for these things, you just find mean, that's all. 25.87. Therefore, 25.87 is significantly larger than 22. 22. This difference cannot be neglected. This difference cannot be neglected. Therefore, the doubt of the scientist is correct. The average rainfall in that weather station has been significantly increased from the average rainfall in the previous time. Yes or no? Clear or no?
Clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
We will do one more problem.
Sir.
Okay. Suppose it is known from experience that the standard, oh no, this is again using summary. I want to give you something using data. Then only I can use R. I can use R. I have done so many things for you, but I don't know whether I will get a time to do all these things. Yeah, you need not write this question, you just understand. This is the lifetime of, but it is actual data actually, actual data. This is the lifetime of bulbs, 20 bulbs, 20 bulbs, okay? This was done by a company in their research and development wing, okay? And what is the average? Mean X. Average is mean X. Average is mean X, okay? 3379. Average lifetime is 3379. The company was claiming 3,400 hours. 3,400 hours. Okay? The company was claiming that our bulb will last at least on an average, at least for 3,400 hours. Okay? Then the consumer was in doubt. Okay? They were running a big hospital. And this company representative claimed that, sir, you change to our company's bulb so that it will give you 3,400. Okay. What is to be done? Nothing. T dot test. T dot test. Name of the data file. What is the hypothetical value? 3400. What is the alternative? Alternative. That is what I told you. It is very similar to spoken English. Alternative equal to less. Because I am very doubtful about their claim. I am doubtful about their claim. Okay, then I simply select this one and run. If there are no mistakes, I will get the answer. Yeah, minus 2.5268. Degrees of freedom, 19. P value, 0.0127. You can easily check what is PT. PT minus 2.5268. 2.5268 degrees of freedom is 19. Because degrees of freedom is the parameter for the T distribution.
Sir, we will have a 10 minutes break or something.
Okay, sure. 0.0102. That's what you are getting here. 0.0102. Okay. Now, what is the conclusion? What is the conclusion? This value, look at this value. This is less than 0.05. P value is less than 0.05. Therefore, H naught is rejected. What is H naught? The lifetime is 3400. That is rejected. Therefore, the claim of the company is not correct. The average life is less than 3400. 3400. If you have some doubts, you please ask me and make it clear. If you have some doubts, you just remember one, T dot test. T dot test. Okay? And other things I will explain. No, now itself I will explain. Because you have to verify whether the population is normal. What is to be done? QQ norm. QQ norm X. This is one technique. Quantile. Okay? On y-axis and x-axis, we will mark theoretical quantile value and the sampled quantile value. Okay? You will get a graph. Yeah. You will get a graph. This is theoretical values. This is sampled values. If they agree each other, that means what? You should get a diagonal line. Now, we can expect only this much from a survey. Okay? Because exact normality cannot be expected. If you want, you can line also. You can draw a line also. QQ line. QQ line, you will get the diagonal line. You will get the diagonal line also. This is one of the techniques. One of the techniques to check whether the population is normal. Yeah. If majority of the lines are, majority of the points are on the line or near to the line, then we can assume that the population is normal. Here is normal QQ plot. Normal QQ plot. Another technique is, graphical technique is box plot. Box plot X. Box plot X. Box plot X. Yeah. Okay. Here one man is an outlier. One man is an outlier. Here you can see this box and this Q2 is, this is second quartile, median. Median is almost in the middle of the rectangle. Okay. And these two, actually, it is not exactly normal. Okay. But this one is a dangerous man. Okay, this one is a dangerous man. There is a value, very high value is there. Okay, let us remove that value. Let us remove that value. What is to be done? All those things you can play. You can sort X. Sort X. Sort X. Okay, let us see what is happening. Only 1 minute I will take, don't worry. So TX 3484, he is a dangerous person. Now 3484 we can delete from this. No problem. Because if you delete one value, a criminal value, it will not affect you. It will not affect you. Okay? Then again you draw.
എന്നെ മാറിയില്ലേ?
The,
വാല്യൂലാണ് മാറ്റം വരുള്ളൂ. ഗ്രാഫാ സാർ പറയുന്നല്ലേ? എന്നിൽ മാറ്റം വന്നില്ലെന്ന് ചോദിക്കുക.
if some value is an outlier, it is better you remove that value. It is better you remove that value if you have enough number of data. There are so many techniques. Okay? QQ norm X, you can see graph is very good graph now. Because otherwise you will not get a satisfactory result from the test. Satisfactory result from that. That value is highly influencing the other value. Now you can see, if you remember the previous graph and this graph, you can see the difference. Now only 2 points are here, far away from this line, and 1 point here. And now you see, what about the reaction of t-test? T-test, you have to select this again because I have deleted one value. The mean is 3374 now. Here also you see, p-value is very, very small. Very, very small. Very, very small. Okay, now you look at this box plot. Yeah. Now you look at the box plot. You see that outlier is disappeared. Now this length and this length, they are more or less same, but this line is slightly above the middle part of the rectangle. Okay. Now these are the games you can play before writing the final conclusion. Before writing the final conclusion. Is it clear?
Please, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then now it is 11:41. You please come at 11:50.
Sir, please remember to copy the content.
Now itself I will do the
Yes,
things
sir.
I have.
Yes, sir.
Because I think age has started affecting me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Age has started affecting me. Today it is 2088. This PC, where is P6? 2088. So that